today, Egypt and Gabon, Nigeria, Central African Republic, Mali, on down the list. You can see it's a busy day's action. And here is the look at Group C. So we're going to watch Egypt and Gabon first. Also, this group has good Mali and Cameroon teams. Well, Jeff Taylor joined by Lloyd Gardner, and a veteran of the last AfroBasket in Côte d'Ivoire, or Ivory Coast for the English speakers. And Lloyd, tell us what we can expect perhaps from this entire tournament.
Well, it's a tournament that comes with plenty of surprises, Jeff. You know, the way the format of the tournament, where you see 4 team groups, 4 of them, every team will qualify through to the knockout round. And it was that format that gave this Egyptian team, you know, a lifeline last year. I mean, the Egyptians came in, they suffered through the first round. They lost all 3 games, finished bottom of their group. They really did look like one of the lesser teams in the tournament, but then the format of the competition allowed them into that knockout stage where they turned over previously unbeaten Tunisia, and then it was like a fairy tale, you know, one win after another. They then defeated Senegal in the semi-final, made it all the way through to the final where they lost out to Angola, but already, you know, had secured that ticket into the World Championships in Turkey where they played last year.
So if there's one word, I guess, that you could use to describe what these tournaments are all about, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a fantastic tournament. Some players come in with great reputations because we see them on the world stage. You know, maybe they've established themselves in America, in the collegiate system, in the NBA, or in Europe. Other players, perhaps a little bit more unknown, you know, players to look at Egypt, like Hassan Morai, who we knew a little on the world stage, thanks to his performances in junior competitions, but he really started to make a name for himself at this level of competition in 2013.
Well, Egypt certainly missed Morai at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. They could have used him. They were in probably the toughest group with Spain, Serbia, France, Brazil, and Iran, and they lost all of their games, but they'll be looking to come back with a vengeance. There's Thierry Bonga, the coach of Gabon, and he is going over in his own mind some last-minute preparations. I guess if you've gotten to this point 7 minutes before tip-off, it's, you know, the work has to be done, but he will no doubt have to make some adjustments during the game. And Gabon will be an exciting team to watch, if only because, as you mentioned, we've been able to watch Stéphane Lasme over the years. Terrific shot blocker, big scoring threat inside. You know, what kind of Gabon team are we going to see? We're going to watch a team that's going to be going up against a team that finished runners-up last year, but quite frankly, you just simply do not know what to expect. If Hassan Morai is as good as he was 2 years ago, you could really see this Egyptian team getting on a roll.
But as you said, the unpredictability, the first couple of games, I mean, Egypt, they looked so out of sorts. They really didn't play particularly well at all. They do have the veteran presence, and a player we kind of were waiting on was Ibrahim El Gamel, who, you know, traditionally has been the best Egyptian player over the last few years. But, you know, he was very disappointing in the Ivory Coast in 2013. Didn't play at his best, played much better in 2014, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, what kind of performance we get from him. But if I'm Gabon, I take this as the first round game. As I said, Egypt didn't start the last tournament well. I think they're the type of team, you know, that are vulnerable for an upset if you catch them at the right time.
Players being introduced here for both teams. And prize, obviously, for winning this tournament, to clinch a spot to the Rio de Janeiro games. And that will be on the minds of a lot of these players as they come out and try to take advantage of this extraordinary opportunity. There's Bouanda, the coach of Gabon. And for Egypt, they're going to be introduced to the crowd now. Hassan Morai made quite a name for himself playing college basketball in America, and really almost before his time. I mean, has that ever happened? Being a youngster coming to an AfroBasket like he did 2 years ago and just completely dominate. Rebounds, points, everything. He did everything for this Egyptian team, and then he went back to college. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic story.
This is his father as well, Coach Mariah.
Fantastic story. As he just checking to see if there's any national anthems. Doesn't look like we might get them now, but you know, he's a fantastic story. He played in Egypt in the professional league, so that meant that his college eligibility in the States was a little bit under scrutiny, so he ended up going to a Division II school, you know, pretty unknown, playing out in Minnesota, but since that point, like we said, in 2013 really did establish a name for himself, made the all-tournament team in the Ivory Coast. Was a you know, just awesome is the only word to describe the way he played in that tournament.
Saw the referees there from Tunisia, Mozambique, and Senegal.
Merci, merci. والآن النشيد الوطني المصري. Je vous rappelle que ce match va être avec nos amis.
Well, these players have been getting ready all summer long for this moment to come out and compete at an AfroBasket. And again, another look at the referees from Tunisia, Mozambique, and Senegal. And it's an honor for these guys to be able to referee at a tournament of this stature. It's the flagship event for African basketball, and much rides on the outcomes. Of course, we know that Angola have dominated this competition really for the last couple of decades, but they haven't won them all. And certainly there will be challengers to the throne this year. Angola got back on track in 2013 after falling at home. Now, we've got the team roster here for Gabon, and Lloyd, I guess, you know, we already spoke about Lasseter. Is there anybody else that kind of stands out for you?
Well, it's a slightly unknown lineup to us. The one I'm keen on looking out for is the number 6, Thierry Mayemba. You know, he's played high school basketball in the U.S., and we see him into the starting lineup. Oh, no, not in the starting lineup right now, but he's played high school basketball in the American system. is at George Mason University, but sat out this year with a red shirt. So, you know, he was highly recruited out of high school. So it will be interesting to see, you know, how he can establish himself on this level.
And you saw the other starters there, including Obam, who is going to be a pretty good player to watch for Egypt. And we've already spoken about number 50, Asim Marai, and Ibrahim El Gamal. Now, this is a team that had a lot of these players that were at the FIBA Basketball World Cup last year. And, of course, under a different coach. So Marai has come back to lead, or is now in charge of this team that has his son as really the central figure. So you would guess he would get a few minutes.
Yeah, the question for Egypt, for me, probably the point guard position. You know, it looks like Taufik will get the nod at the point guard position. And in the run, the magical run they had in 2013, it was the veteran presence of Badir coming off the bench. He had 2 massive games for Egypt, you know, 2 big scoring games, and they were the victories over Tunisia and against Senegal in the semi-final. You know, he really did sort of win the games for Egypt at that level of competition, at that stage.
So there's Marai. He's not starting, but we've highlighted him as well as Stefan Lasma, the 32-year-old forward, power forward, so 9 years of age difference. But anybody that has seen Lasma play really the last several years understands what he brings to the team. He has terrific presence on both ends of the floor, but especially defensively.
And that's where the battle is going to be interesting, because Marai, you know, trying to establish himself, trying to kind of prove himself still on that world stage. He's finished college now, will be looking to get a professional career, and he's going against one of the best defenders in the world. So, you know, it'll be a really intriguing matchup, that one on the inside.
Interesting that he's not starting, at least wasn't in the starting lineup that we saw. So you wonder if maybe there's a niggle that coach might wants to take it easy, or maybe it's a tactical ploy.
He played a lot of minutes. I mean, we talked about the format of this game. A lot of games, but he played big minutes in previous tournaments. So interesting. Perhaps he played too much, and it's easier games for Egypt on paper. This one against Gabon. So will they rest him here right now?
So Lasma, Obama, and Bundu, the point guard out on the floor, number 8, as well as number 7, Esono Imv, and also going out, Kobangoye Ikinda. There's Lasma. And Marai is actually in the starting lineup, so that graphic that we saw at the start was incorrect. And that surprised me, actually. I figured he had to have an injury. But
the biggest surprise is they've got 6 players on, so he isn't actually starting.
Okay. Well, I think he's surprised. He's smiling as he leaves the court. Yeah. So certainly a little bit of confusion in the ranks, including us. So the graphics were right. We apologize. And there you see the starting 5 for both teams. And jumping in center will be Khalifa, as we expected. 27-year-old, measures 2.07 meters in height, and he goes up against Lasma, and you can see the sheer athleticism. But already Egypt go down and come up with a steal, I guess you'd have to call that. That was El Gamal that came up with it. Now they whip it around out on the perimeter. From the corner, and the shot is blocked from Lasma, but a foul was called battling for position down low on Gabon.
Khalifa has that range, you know, he got blocked on that 3, but he's a nice combo with Marai when he's on the floor, because he likes to step out, shoot it from 3, really stretch the defense.
There's Ahmed underneath the basket, number 11. Recognizable by that full head of hair now. And a 3-pointer already, El Gamal, so maybe he's picking up right where he left off in 2013. 2014,
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, hey, I mean, he couldn't buy a bucket in the first round of 2013, so, you know, great start for him.
And the penetration and the block, but the foul was called, so Nice attacking the basket that time from Kobangoye Kinda.
Good strong move. Organised start from Gabon there. Ran their set, got it into the right hands. He had the advantage, attacked. So pleasing for them. In the warm-up games, they've struggled for offense. That's been the #1 problem for them, where they're going to get their points. So they'll want to start well, try and get some confidence into, the ranks.
Well, he misses the first, and with Egypt getting that quick three-pointer, getting off to a good start, that Gabon want to get on the board. And they finally do. He makes 1 of 2. And Khalifa up top, hands it off. El Gamal. And the penetration, the block, but Ahmed there for the follow.
El Gamal took all the attention, didn't he? He took 3 players with him. Even though he didn't finish, everybody tried to block the shot. That left the offensive rebound.
Obam from the right, and 1 shot now. Khalifa with the rebound, and you can see the Egyptian coach Mirai waving his team up the floor. Now Khalifa gets in and puts up a fadeaway and is blocked by Lasma. Looked like he had an easier shot, and you don't want to give Lasma a chance to block it, do you?
No, but that's the thing about the presence, the reputation of Lasma already. Look at those arms, the extension to get the block. But usually, as I said, we expect Khalifa to catch and shoot, be that perimeter threat. I don't know whether the defense and knowing who he's going against is in his mind.
And good defense. The hustle back from Kobangoye. Now there's going to be 10 on the shot clock. And it certainly looks like Egypt are playing at a faster pace at this moment. But Obam gets inside, a little bit of a bump, and Ahmed picks up the foul.
It's an aggressive start from Egypt, isn't it? You see the double team on the pick and roll. Defensively, they're trying to play the passing lanes. They're trying to up the tempo, so you can see the intention already. And they have the personnel to be able to do that, as we see Mariah coming in for the first time.
So Mariah does indeed come off the bench for Ahmed.
So he's picked up 3 fouls already, Ahmed.
So that's a frustrating start. The 3rd foul sends him to the bench, and Obam misses the 2nd free throw of the game for Gabon. Well, Ahmed's a physical player. Didn't look like he did too much wrong on that foul. It was a tough call on him. And into the lane too early, so there's going to be 1 more shot. And the 2nd one is good, so cost them a point. And Egypt with a 3-point advantage, and Mirai now on the floor for Ahmed. Three-pointer, good, another one, so El Gamal.
That's a start from him. I mean, like I say, I went into AfroBasket 2013 expecting great things, and he couldn't buy anything. I mean, I think he was under 24% from 3 and 2-point range. I mean, you couldn't describe what a horrible time he had playing. He had 1 good game the entire tournament, 19 points in the win against Tunisia. But apart from that, was complete non-factor. Already, though, we've seen the class. Look at that, catch and shoot. The defense really, just a step off. They weren't that far away at all. But he has started off this game very well, 6 of 8 for them.
Obam has his shot blocked by Khalif. And now comes the other way. Taufik. Over to Mirai. Sets the high pick. Goes down low, he's doubled. And now the man with the big reputation gets in and misses. Quickly Gabon. And the pass kicked away. Good hustle from Egypt to get back on defense, and they're going to reset the shot clock. Nope, it's going to be at 20. It's interesting that Bonga is not the one that's standing up coaching Gabon, but anyway, that was Obam backing up and You saw him drawing the foul. And now the reach, and the foul was called on number 10, Ahmed Taufik.
We said how aggressive the Egyptians have been, and it starts with Coach Marai. I mean, he's on the sideline glaring at everything. But if they continue to play this aggressively and pick up fouls, they don't adjust to the referees, then it's going to cause problems for them. They'll have to go deep in the bench already. We've only played not even 3 minutes of the game. They're already in foul problems. They're already in the bonus. So Gabon, who we said struggled for offense, they're yet to hit a field goal, get to go to the line. They're going to get a lot of chances to score from the charity stripe.
Well, Taufik's playing with a lot of energy out there for Egypt. He wasn't in the team the last couple of years, 27-year-old, so getting a chance under Marai. And clearly the coach likes him. He's out in the starting lineup. El Gamal whips the pass into the corner, and Lasman had his hands on it. So they're going to keep the ball with Egypt.
This is a nice balanced lineup for Egypt. A good steal.
Yep, the turnover for Egypt. And just like that, what a play from Taufik. Just knocked the ball away. It looked like number 8, Bundu, was going in for the layup. And this is why you hustle back on defense. So Taufik certainly making his mark here early for Egypt. And that's a silly foul to give away for Khalifa.
2 more shots for Gabon. They've got to adjust Egypt. It's all Khalifa there was late on the pick. He wasn't at the point of the screen. Therefore, he couldn't run the defense. He has to understand, he's not going to be able to do that and change the call or the way that he plays it, rather than just continue to show and pick up, as you said, a cheap foul.
Taufik boxes out the shooter, but the ball falls, and Marai inbounds it to Taufik. Brights downstairs, or down low rather, and gets the rebound, and that's where he's dangerous, but he fails to put it back in. Another offensive rebound for Egypt. El Gamel, he misses, and Lasman with the rebound. But again, the quick hands of Egypt, this time Taufik. El Gamel fakes the pass, then tries to make the pass, and Egypt hustling, but coming away with no points. That trip down the floor. Gabon quickly pushed it up to the other end, and in it goes, and another block, but another foul. So Esono drives in and draws the foul. Well, they're making him earn it at the free throw line.
Yeah, but for a team that's yet to score a field goal, they've got a chance to tie the game here. So for all the great play from Egypt, the great shooting from El Gamel, everything we've said positively about the Egyptian team, Gabon staying in the game.
So Shusha picked up the foul. That's his second. And probably we'll see a substitution coming in for him, Amir Gindi. So he makes 1 of 2. Esono Im. And nope, in fact, it's going to be El Gamel that comes out, as well as Khalifa. So Shusha remains in the contest. Number 14, Abdallah, Rami Abdallah comes in for Egypt. Gindi's also in. Now Marai. And you can see the quality there just with that little bit of move. Good defense that time from Gabon. 14 on the shot clock. There's Gindi. Shusha gives it back to him. And Gindi. Over to Taufik for 3. That's all to the right. And Marai didn't get the rebound, but he contested. Made Gabon work for it. And it goes, and Obam goes up and puts it up off the glass. And looky here, we've got Gabon on top 9-8.
Nice, the guard penetration now. The foul starting to rack up. Guards are getting scared. They don't want to put their hands on it. One of the attacking player, that's where penetration came from.
Now, I see Mariah complaining about the defense out on the perimeter, but just Gabon having taken the lead, looks like it's kind of giving them a little bit of a spark.
It's a veteran Gabon lineup. 3 players on the floor, over 30 years of age. Obviously, Lasmi as well. They've got that experience.
What a move from Bundu, but coming from behind the block, I think, from Mariah. And Shusha, looked like he may have picked up a foul, but Gindi puts it up. And Mariah with the offensive rebound and put back.
That's where he's so good, just using his body, the creativity around the ring to find some space. He's not the biggest, he's not an explosive leaper either, but it doesn't matter how many people are in there, he always seems to find that room.
How about Laspa coming in, and Mariah affected that shot. And now the steal, and going the other way. And Gabon drives in and gets the foul. Number 7, Osono Imv. And, well, the and one coming. Well, this game's pretty even. I have to say, Taufik, well, that's the 4:13 mark. We're going to go. Nope, we just had some substitutions, and Osono Imv is going to take the free throws. I don't know about you, Lloyd, but I'm surprised that right now it's Egypt as the team that's challenging all the shots at the rim. I would have thought that it would have been the other way around.
It's a young and athletic Egyptian team, though. Gabon seem a lot more methodical in the way that they're playing. They're a good rebounding team. Lasma on the inside as well. He's a real anchor defensively. Let us hear, where's the offense going to come from?
Well, interior pass, they're really doing a good job of feeding it down low, but they haven't been able to finish. So in the end, they take the three-pointer and knock it down. Indong.
Just thinking it's all a bit crowded, the penetration, these little tough passes on the inside, but then they go to the outside and hit the shot.
And the turnover gives it back over to Gabon.
You can almost sense the frustration here from Egypt then. The great start, but they haven't been able to continue it here, and Gabon got themselves back into this one.
Timeout on the floor. 13-10, Gabon. Well, Egypt have called the timeout. They started well. They started with a lot of aggression. They got on top of Gabon, but also had a few mistakes creep into their game, and they've committed a few fouls. Ahmed already on the bench with 3 fouls. Shusha has a couple. And you can see they've yet to take a free throw, whereas Gabon, 7 of 11.
I mean, 11 free throws already. It's an incredible amount. Egypt have got to manage the first game of the tournament. Players come out, they've got great excitement for Egypt. I'm sure confidence will be high after the way they performed in the end in the Ivory Coast, and off the experience of the World Cup in 2014 as well. So they'll come into this game full of excitement, but they haven't managed that very well. They've almost done too much on the defensive end, so the energy they've got has turned into fouls. The aggression, the way they're trying to play has backfired. And Gabon, with all these veteran players, they've kind of looked at the Egyptian team, said, okay, you run around, you do what you do, we're just going to be here, be secure. They've got to the ring, they've got to the line, and they've started well.
Well, good hustle from Egypt, getting on the ground to get the loose ball up ahead to Mariah. Couldn't quite get it. Couldn't control it, and Egypt in a little bit too much of a hurry that time, but again, nice little statement defensively there coming out of the timeout.
So the other thing, 6 turnovers now on Egypt in the first 7 minutes of this game.
Osono Imv hands it off. Now down to the backup, and number 12 for Gabon, Jason Retino, 37-year-old center, shows he's got a lot of mileage on those legs, but can still put it up and in.
I've gone to him a couple of times, so maybe he's the spark off the bench.
Another three, and this time it's Lasmo gets the rebound. You can see Mariah challenging yet again.
They've got to find a way to use Lasmo on the offensive end.
Good steal, leads to the fast break, and puts it up, and they miss. Incredibly, Ahab Amin missed the layup, and Egypt are going to have possession. Watch this, the pressure, Lloyd, and it looked like maybe he just got put off of his shot right at the end by Lasman.
Maybe. Ahab Amin is one of those players I think is going to probably have to play a big role for Egypt. We said that the point is probably the position where we've got questions. He's coming off a good year, freshman year at Texas A&M Corpus Christi in America. So it'll be interesting to see, can he be the guy that fills in at that spot, really gives them a spark. Not known as too much of a perimeter shooter, but can get to the ring, can finish.
Well, the pass, and this time, Ahab Amin scores with the alley-oop. And you see the intensity on the face of Coach Murai. It's an aggressive zone there.
Yeah. Said Gabon haven't really hit from the perimeter.
That time well short, putting up the three, Kobangoye. And looks like the Gabon have been kind of knocked out of their stride since that last time out. There's the alley-oop.
Right down defensively. You've got to get your philosophy. Are you switching? Are you helping? You just give up a layup like that.
Out on the perimeter, number 6, Rami Gennady, and back over to Gindy. He misses, but another opportunity. And the left-hander Gindy drives in, passes back out to Murai. And the short jump shot, no good from Rami Gennady again, but another offensive rebound and putback. And that was from Ahab Amin. So that missed layup on the fast break. The memory of that starting to fade a little bit.
Quick points for him. So not known as a shooter, but offensive rebounds.
Lasma. Shot clock down to 4. And good defense from Gindy, but ball goes back. I don't think Gabon got the shot off in time.
Zone's going to be interesting. Gabon will have to find a way to play against it because Egypt going to it so early look like it's something they think is going to help them win the game. Gabon, all their points have been at the ring. Penetration, rebounds, penetration and dish, everything. So they've got to find a way to unlock it from the perimeter.
Well, there's a move inside, but denied yet again. He gets it back. And number 14, Abdallah, fouled. Well, he was fouled several times from Lasma. Stefan Lasma. And Mariah comes out. Khalifa comes back in. It's easy to see why Mariah was so dominant a couple of years ago. He is a beast on the boards without question. He's very active. And they're going to have to play without him now. And another foul with 27 points. So they've got fouls to give Gabon, but I'm not sure they want to give it away that easily and that quickly. That's their 3rd team foul here in the first quarter.
They haven't gone deep into their bench either yet, which makes you, you don't think they can get into foul trouble. Gabon, so fouls like that where they don't really need to commit them. A lot of time left still.
gets inside, bounce pass, and there's Mr. Lasma, comes up with the SWAT. He's on the SWAT team now. And quickly the other way, but Gabon in too much of a hurry, and that's going to give Egypt an opportunity, and yet another miss. But I think they're going to count that basket from Ahab Amin. They're going to say there's goal interference. So with 8.8 seconds left, Gabon missed a good opportunity there, and Egypt capitalized. Last few seconds. In the corner he goes. This on Oemba, and he's short. So at the end of a kind of an up and down first quarter for Egypt, they lead it 16-15 over Gabon. So, Lloyd, you think, looking at this Egypt team and the Gabon team as well, that perhaps depth could end up being a factor by the end of the game?
Quite possibly. We've seen Egypt go into the bench early and often. And they've had a lot of players play already. 10 or perhaps even 11 players have seen the floor. Yeah, 11 players already. Excuse me, 10. 10 players have seen the floor already. And if they're going to play this high-pressure, high-intensity game, they're going to need a lot of bodies to be able to do it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Is this just a tactic early on in the tournament? Or is this because they're playing a Gabon team, they're trying to get up early, they're trying to throw that knockout blow to kind of then be able to relax? Or is it something we're going to see in every game? Are they going to do this against the likes of Tunisia and the other big teams in this tournament?
Well, you see with the statistics here at the end of the first quarter, the turnovers were a problem there for Egypt. They still have 6. However, Gabon now have 5 turnovers, and Egypt out-rebounding Gabon at this stage. But from a free throw shooting standpoint, the only team that's made a trip to the line so far is Gabon. They're 7 of 11.
Well, that's the fouls have been keeping them in the game. Gabon, so Egypt need to adjust. And again, if they're going to play really aggressive, try to play fast as they have been, you have to accept the chances are you're probably going to have more turnovers than usual. If you're playing a methodical game, walking it up, there's probably less mistakes your team will make. But it's the high risk, high reward. You know, by trying to push the ball in the floor, the classic one was where they tried to make the pass over the top in transition to Marai. He couldn't handle it, he got a turnover. But if you're not pushing and trying to get that pass, then you potentially lose the opportunity for the quick 2 that he may have got.
The second quarter action underway here in Morades on the outskirts of Tunis and Tunisia. It's the opening day and the opening game of AfroBasket 2015. And Gabon put up another jumper, and Egypt with the rebound. Indies pretty big for a guard getting inside, getting those rebounds. On the pass, back outside. And the three-pointer falls from Rami Gunadi.
Shot the ball well early, haven't they? 4 of 8 now, 3 of 7. 4 of 7 as a team, Albanel. And Gunda as well.
Sono Emba drives in and draws the contact. Well, this is where they excel, getting contact on the way to the basket.
Egypt stayed in the zone that time. The first time, really, there was a space, a little slither of a lane for Gabon to penetrate. And you see it.
Well, there's a long way to go, Lloyd, but the winner of this tournament will qualify for the Olympics, and that's really one of the exciting aspects to this. There's so many historical features to this tournament that are interesting, like Nigeria's struggles, even though they've been good, and Egypt have had a lot of great years in the AfroBasket. They kind of had a resurgence, and they'd like to keep that momentum going. Good defense out on the perimeter that time from Gabon. Now inside and denied, and no joy at all for Abdallah. And careless ball handling. How in the world did Bundu not turn that ball over?
Poor going both ways. This is a poor option. Look at the bodies around him. Surely it's got to be a pass out from Abdallah there. Recognise the fact he's got no space. And as you said, poor ball handling from Gabon there as well.
So here he is. He puts up a three, and the left-hander is no good. So Bundu now back over, and he missed, but the follow by Khalifa.
That's a great work on the offensive glass. As you said, Gabon are a pretty good rebounding team. Here comes the trap. Get away from it successfully, but good work from Khalifa.
Bundu passes it out on the perimeter, and the shot is short by Pagara. And, you know, Egypt had the wind in their sails early on. A foul has been called here on Gabon. And Gabon came back. Now Egypt seems to have reclaimed momentum.
The zone has helped, I think, defensively. Until Gabon prove that they're going to be able to unpick it, you know, extend it, knock it down from the outside, they may struggle.
No question that foul was on Jason Retino. So the unsportsmanlike was called, and that means 2 free throws and possession. So seemed to be a tough call. He certainly fouled him, but 2 free throws, and the momentum now right with Egypt. Khalifa comes out, and Marai comes back in.
Wholesale substitutions from Egypt, isn't it? It's the 11th player that steps on the floor there in Omar Arabi, a 23-year-old 7'2" center. So deep into this bench.
Well, they've got some size. And entry move down there by Marai, denied, hustles, gets it back. Late in the shot clock, a three-pointer is an air ball from number 4, Ahab Amin, and the ball goes over to Gabon. And Esono Munim gets inside and had a dream chance to get an easy one and doesn't put it away. Now quickly Egypt the other way. Gennady back outside into the corner, and El Gamel this time misses but gets the long rebound. And Marai gets it inside and misses twice. Oh, and the big 7-footer who's just come on says, "Let me introduce myself." Omar Arabi.
Oh, he liked that. The fist pump on the way back. What an offensive rebound. Just didn't expect that at all. Big throwdown.
Well, it's hard enough keeping Marai off the glass, but now you've got another one. Well, maybe we're seeing a much better Egypt team than many people expected. Into the corner it goes. Esono misses. Retino keeps it alive, but into the hands of El Gamel. He gets it back over to Amin, and the cutting Marai right down the lane, and an and one coming. So the bigs right now are showing us they can play for Egypt. Great hustle from Asim Marai, and that is forced to Gabon timeout. Well, this is a dangerous part of the game right now, Lloyd. 25-15 for Egypt, and certainly all the momentum. And Gabon not looking as competitive, really.
Not at all. Egypt, again, it's the same things we've talked about, the intensity of their play, really being impressive. I'm interested to see just the different lineups they're already throwing on the floor. Now Marai being at the 4, the spacing will be taken away because he doesn't really like to play out on the perimeter too much. It'll be interesting to see if he can play with Arabi on the floor at the same time, because that's different look offensively. And for Congo, their offense, how can they play against this zone? They haven't really got anything against it yet. You know, only 15 points now yet to score. It's 11-0 start for Egypt in this second quarter. And the big thing for me, that's 0 shots so far. He's perhaps arguably one of the greatest ever African players in world basketball. And yet, he's yet to take a shot, having played the whole of the game.
Well, the lead in double digits, and it can grow to 13 points if Asim Marai makes this free throw. Remember, all of the teams will advance from the opening round. And Egypt have proved before that, winning games early on is insignificant, but they're coming out strong, looking to make a statement without question this year. And just loses the ball, fumbles it away. And big quick hands that time. Anticipation from Ndong, knocks it out of bounds. So Egypt ball, 21 seconds on the shot clock. Almost came up with the intersection there. Who is hot early on, gets it into Marai. And Rai puts it up. Gets it in, starting to come to life offensively.
So efficient, 6 points, 4 rebounds, great steal.
Another steal, terrific defense from Egypt. Ahab Amin goes in, and now they are more than doubling Gabon's score. That's how bad it's gotten. And look at the hustle from Egypt. And it was ever since that timeout, with about 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter, 7 minutes, just things have turned around for Egypt. Here it is, another look. We've seen him getting in there, going up for those layups often. He's going to catch a breather after that play. Ahab Amin, exciting talent with Egypt.
That's impressive since coming on, and the youngster, he said, just played his freshman year, college in the States. 5 points, 2.5 rebounds. Decent numbers for a freshman.
Yep. Foul called on Egypt. And it was the veteran Retino who was driving in, and he got the foul from down on the low post. Well, Bonga's looking somewhat passive over on the sidelines at this stage. You see Marai, the Egypt coach, standing up for most of the contest. Another turnover, and Egypt getting out of the fast break, turn it right back over. Tough to give it off to your big center, your 7-footer. On the fast break, there's Lasma. And his turnaround jumper, no good. Marai collects another rebound. Now, El Gamal. Inside to Marai. And long one, no good from El Gamal. He seems to have gone cold now. Ball goes out of bounds, but Egypt will retain possession. There's Arabi, the 2.18 meter center. He's come off the bench and has already thrilled us here with an offensive rebound and putback dunk. Three-pointer, the back of the rim, Marai hands it off to Arabi, and he gets another dunk. Well, I'll tell you, Marai is just like a vacuum, isn't he? I mean, he just collects all those boards.
He's got a real nose for the ball. He's always making plays. Like I said, he's very efficient as well. It's a good percentage. 50 around the ring.
Oh, good defense from all the Egyptian players. Retino reaches in, tries to commit the foul. It wasn't called by the referee. Now the explosive move, and Arabi yet again, this time surrounded and fouled, and an unsportsmanlike has been called on Gabon, who are just coming apart at the seams right now. That was the previous trip down the floor where Marai got the rebound. Now look at this defense. So Arabi making an impact. And he's now at the line after the unsportsmanlike foul. First free throw is good. It's hard to believe that Gabon, if I'm correct, we're leading 15-14. They now trail 35-15. That's quite a run, isn't it?
It's 18-0 second quarter. So more than 5 minutes now. They're yet to score. Looking for first points of the game as well.
A timeout on the floor, and it's looking very good here for the Egyptians. Well, we got the feeling that Egypt might really lay the wood to this Gabon team early when they came out and played aggressively, but Gabon came back. They were able to get to the free throw line a lot, but really in the second quarter, it has been all Egypt. Look at the assists, 6 for Egypt, just 1 for Gabon.
Yeah, well, they've made great adjustments, Egypt, going into that 2-3 zone and just kind of eased off the pressure a little, especially on the ball. So they haven't committed those careless fouls in the second quarter. They've only made 2 in the first 5 minutes that we've seen, and that's really helped them because they haven't allowed Gabon to get to the line and make free throws. It's given Egypt a platform to run, to be able to get out in transition, you know, to have the open floor where they're not being boxed out, and people like Marai, and then, you know, the huge impact for me of Arabi as well on the inside has really changed the way this game has gone.
But especially when you have Arabi and Marai in the game at the same time, that's where it really looks dangerous, doesn't it?
And it'll be interesting, like I said, for Marai now playing the power forward spot. He doesn't really have that three-point range, but I think if he can add to his game, it really does make him a potent threat.
Well, another three-pointer, this one from Ahmed El Maraji, and he's shown flashes of that this summer, and certainly knocked one down there. There's Obama, and just one shot now into the hands of El Gamel. Alley-oop pass to Asim Marai.
Does he get down the floor as well? For someone who's essentially at center.
Oh, beautiful defense, beautiful everything from Asim Marai right now. And a technical foul has been called, I believe, on number 10, Kobangoye Ikinda, here of Gabon. He must have said something to the referee.
He wasn't happy on the drive, felt he was fouled. So he was yapping to the official.
Well, I guess if you're going to get a technical and you're trailing by 25 points, it's probably the time to get it. Not late in the game when it's a 1 or 2 point contest. Last month. Yeah. El Gamel picks up knocks down the free throw. So you'd have to think with Gabon at least, as El Gamel gets inside, hands it back over to Marai. We're going to look at this as a learning experience, knowing that all the teams will advance from the opening phase of the competition. Takes some of the pressure off, doesn't it? Now, penetration, Arabi, and unable to get the ball up. And tries to dunk it anyway without the ball.
You know what he's trying to do if he gets it. And then there's only one thing in his mind. Get some space, and he's going to try and dunk. Spell from him though, he goes out.
Another foul over there.
Something that's almost as entertaining as the game right now is Coach Marai on the side. Abdallah tried to sub into the game at the free throw, but he didn't sit down at the table. So he wasn't granted the substitution. And Coach Marai, lit him up on the side, shouting at him. And then as he comes into the game, he commits a foul. So he gets more of a rap as well. He works that sideline, Coach Marai. He's very intense.
Well, that Gabon turnover gives it back over here to Egypt, who right now are playing like a runaway train. Looking like they're going to surpass the 50-point mark here in the first half. And Marai was popped, not intentionally, but popped anyway in the face by number 11, Marvin Joy Mapaga. Just kind of grazed him there with his left arm. So Marai goes up to the free throw line and adds to his tally, which there's no doubt he's going to be in double-double land after this one.
He's a double-double machine. 12 double-doubles this year, college basketball. Season high of 34 points as well.
He's got 10 points already. Gabon gets inside. 7 on the shot clock. Gabon. And the long three-pointer is no good by Mukaga. A foul has been called, so back at the free throw line where they've had some success. When Marai comes out and Ahmed with the 3 fouls comes back in, so that's immaterial really at this stage. The 3 fouls that he picked up.
Gets the start. Inside for Egypt, potentially 5 guys rotating across the 2 positions with Marai, with the starting lineup of Khalifa and Ahmed, and also now Arabi as well coming in, and Abdallah.
And now an offensive foul has been called on Taufik. I know we've seen that's 3 fouls as well on Taufik, but again, I think it's probably not that important in the grand scheme of things when you have the type of lead that Egypt have right now. Pass inside to Obama. He goes up, draws the contact, and earns another trip to the line, and it's Ahmed who picks up the foul. He's a foul magnet. Number 4.
The starters Egypt have had to this tournament, it's not a game he's going to remember, is it?
Now, obviously, we're at the start of the tournament, but with this type of start by Egypt, are they kind of like sending out a message that, they're for real, forget what happened last year. They've got their big guy back, Marai. They've got some other new additions, and you better watch out.
Yeah, I think so. We already see a couple of other teams have come into the arena. Teams will look at the score, but more importantly, it's the way that you play. You want to win big because it shows that you're playing well. And I know that Egypt made the final 2 years ago after playing so poorly in the tournament, but at the same time, Tunisians, there's the big upset that Egypt had. Tunisia unbeaten in the first round, were unconvincing in their performances. So even though they were winning games, they were only just winning games, and the performances they were putting on the floor weren't that impressive in the first round. So, if it hadn't been the fact that Egypt hadn't won a game and looked so poor as well, you would have called it a relatively even game going in, Egypt against Tunisia.
Well, nice pick. And might have a dunk. Nope, going to have a layup. And it's going to be made by Bundu, the left-handed point guard. So that Gabon here, who went for a long time without scoring the point for practically 7.5 minutes, have now got 3 points here in the second quarter. Abdallah knocks it down. Rami Abdallah, he's finally able to check into the game, and now he's got his first 3 points of the game.
Another of those bigs with range for Egypt, using that versatility. But I'm starting to pick up the intensity now. And Russell gets a clean look. Hit it.
Well, Egypt will settle for him shooting from outside without question. 28-point advantage for Egypt. We wouldn't have thought this was possible at the end of the first quarter. 3-point attempt, and it's good. Another one from Rami Gunati. And the blowout is on without question. 49-18. Well, the Egyptian fans have to be excited by this start from their team. Nice penetration, but Lasma was there looking for the rebound. And Bundu tries to lay it off. Now here is a look at Abdallah knocking down the long three. And then it's Gennady hitting the three. The final minute inside, and number 12 goes up, Shusha, Youssef Shusha. And Gabon unable to inbound the ball, goes out of bounds. Mukaga Atsu was trying to get it to Mapaga, and that was a look at Lasma. I mean, the thing is, with not a huge squad, you know, who do you sub in and out for Gabon? Retono comes back into the game. The final 47.2 seconds. Khalifa goes up, gets the offensive rebound off his own miss, puts it up and misses again. And now the attention in the backcourt. Obama catches it, bounce pass. Retono misses. Excuse me, it's not Retono, it's Kobangoye. El Gamal drives in and draws the foul. 19.26 remaining.
It's just been a disaster in the second period for Gabon, isn't it? 3 points scored. You can see the faces on the bench there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen just a total collapse like this in one quarter of basketball.
As we touched on, what they have to do, they've got to regroup. You know, this game already in the first half might be over. But the important thing, it's not if they get going, as we've seen, you know, you can have a great second quarter, you can have a great third, fourth quarter, but the most important thing is the performance going forward now. You know, one game is not going to make or break their competition. They need to get a better second half performance, just try and win each quarter as it comes, try and get that offense ticking over.
Penetration, and Egypt stand their ground. Shusha. Final 4 seconds. Gonna go over to Abdallah. And Abdallah misses, but Shusha there for the offensive rebound and putback. That pretty much says it all, really, for me. The fact that they didn't give up on the play, they're hustling to the last second.
Fantastic energy from Shusha. And that really has summed it up, hasn't it? Wide open look. Egypt can't hit it, but there the offensive rebound from a guard, just rushing in to get the score.
Shusha runs sort of with swoosh, and the ball goes in, and it's 55-18. Egypt in command at halftime. Gabon go to the changing rooms looking for some answers.
39 points in the second quarter for Egypt. I mean, everything working for them. The dunks on the inside, they had Marai on the offensive glass, they had the threes. You know, they've looked very impressive indeed in this first quarter, and I would say arguably, you know, more impressive in this first half than they looked in the entire AfroBasket 2013.
But you have to wonder how much of that is down to the opponent as well. But rebounding, you know, inside you've got sheer domination, shooting 61% from the floor. And they've also knocked down 6 3-pointers, and they ended up getting to the free throw line. But look at the rebounding. If rebounding is the statistic of desire, as some people say, well, Egypt just have a little bit more desire. In fact, a lot more desire than Gabon at this stage. The turnover is really inconsequential at this stage, as well as the foul trouble. So Gabon probably looking to put this horrible second quarter behind them and come back out. Put on a better show, try to build some confidence in the second half. Stick around, folks. It's Egypt on top, 55-18 over Gabon.
handle, test, handle, handle, test, now, handle, test, handle. maximum des premiers pays. Bonjour. C'est le temps du premier match Égypte-Gabon et le score 55 Égypte, 18 Gabon.
Well, 55-18 is the lead for Egypt over Gabon. You could almost say they've run Gabon out of the gym with that first half performance, and you have to wonder if Gabon are going to come back because, boy, we're just supposed to be seconds away here from the start of the second half, and there's no sight of Gabon.
Yeah, it's gone into the changing room. Obviously, there's a lot for them to talk about. A lot of adjustments they need to make, especially offensively. A disaster second period for them. They were outscored 39-3. I don't think I've ever heard of a quarter such as that in this level of competition. But everything went wrong for them. They couldn't hit anything offensively, and that really affected their defensive intensity and effort as well. And Egypt just, they were relentless in their attacking nature in the second quarter, both offensively and defensively. They really did go after Gabon. Very impressive Egypt. It's quite a young Egyptian team, really. I was just taking a look at the half, and 6 of this 12-player roster for Egypt is 24 years of age or under, and they're really now starting to bear the fruit of the domination they've seen at the youth categories in Africa. If you think the under-16 championships has run four times in Africa, Egypt having won 3 of them. Only time they lost was in 2013, where they lost to Angola, and then in the under-18 level, the last 4 years. They've won 3 of the last 4 years. Only year they lost was in 2012. Senegal ended up winning gold, which was then rescinded for them playing overage players. So you can see that the Egyptian domination at that junior level starting to come through. You know, players like the point guard Amin, who's had a really good, solid game here. His first senior performance, and at the half he's got 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Well, he was an MVP of the Under-16 African Championships and the Under-18 African Championships in his past. So, you know, you can see that those players that Egypt have had, they've nurtured, Mariah's being one of them, Susha's being another one. You know, they're starting to come through now and really start to make their name on a senior level alongside players like El Gamal that have been there before and done it for Egypt.
And I think it's a valid point that you bring up. I mean, to reference the success at the youth level, because, you know, if there's one thing that's become evident over the years with all these national teams all over the world, you know, it's the teams with the great youth programs that, you know, can build something. And I think a lot of people, if they don't really follow international basketball 365 days a year, maybe they don't appreciate the importance of the youth program. But it is absolutely vital, especially if you look at all of the successful teams in all of the regions. The good news is Gabon has emerged, and literally, I would say, just in the nick of time. They are out on the court, and we are getting ready here to tip it off. So Mariah is going to come back out and catch it. He's going to make a quick pass to Gamel, or excuse me, to. Who's he passing it to? Sorry, he was passing it to Gindi, Amir Gindi, and Gindi draws the foul.
Surrounded, didn't he? Three defenders. Look at that, just sandwiched him. Luckily, there's a foul called. Really got to say, Gabon should have avoided the contact because
they had so many players.
Yes, they just crowded out Gindi. I'm not sure what he was going to have done with it.
Gindi makes the free throws to pile on the agony. 57-18 now. And it doesn't look like Egypt want to give an inch as they come out with a massive lead. Last one. Over on the baseline and nails it. Well, certainly that they wanted to run a play for him as soon as possible. And here it is again, another look at it. There's that soft touch. Well, we highlighted Lasma and Marai at the start of the game. And a three-pointer from Shushka.
He was one of those players, 24 years of age now. Good at AfroBasket, you know, solid.
And Lasma may have gotten away with a charge there.
Yeah, checking. I'm not sure which way that foul's going to call. I said Susha, you know, got good minutes at AfroBasket 2013. Great experience, and now we're starting to see him, you know, grow into that role. 10 points. There's the three.
Susha making it. Yep, the three. And with the 40-point advantage. Let's see how Egypt approach this second half. You don't want to lose your concentration. You want to come out and play hard for 40 minutes. Ball goes out of bounds. And certainly the evidence of what we've seen so far, not from Egypt, is that Mariah probably really got into his guys and said, we got to go out and we got to play hard. Forget about the score. Let's play hard on every play. Look at Mariah showing us his ball handling ability. Shusha, another three. Is short, and Lasma with the rebound. Now quickly up to Esono. He flies in and draws the foul from Khalifa.
The best option perhaps offensively. It's 1 against 3, but when you're down 40 points, you need points on the board in a hurry, don't you? So Gabon are going to have to try and speed this game up offensively if they can.
Can you recollect what your the biggest comeback was at the last AfroBasket?
Off the top of my head, no.
There have been some big comebacks over the years. We'll just take a quick gander as we watch Sono put up the free throw and makes the second.
early. I was impressed with Arabi on the first half. He's in. He plays 4.5 minutes. He's one of these youngsters, 23 years of age.
Ball goes out of bounds and back over to Gabon. It's worth remembering that Gabon weren't at the last AfroBasket. So, from an experience standpoint, perhaps lacking a little bit. But you see, again, last time putting it up, a tougher shot that time. And again, he brings it across midcourt for Egypt. Three-pointer no good, and rebound last night. Well, they did a good job, Gabon, getting into the lane, but then passed it back out. A nice pass inside to Obam, and Obam draws the foul.
Get back to the line though, Gabon. That'll be the way. Get some respectability back for them. The free throw line clock stops, and they're trying to chip away at this score a little by little.
You know, it's interesting, Boy, in the last AfroBasket, in the very first game, in fact, Central African Republic started extremely well against Mozambique, and we're up 39 to 27. And then the wheels came off in the third quarter. Comebacks aren't out of the realm of possibility, but you'll think that this margin will be too much to overcome. Especially the way Egypt used their bench. They're all getting minutes. They look sharp. Rai hands it off to Arabi, and Arabi this time doesn't dunk it. He just lays it over the rim. So the 2.18 meter center, that's 7 feet 2 inches for those who live in some countries that go by that measurement. And nice spin move and shot. I think you've got some information on Arabi that you'll share with us in just a minute about his immediate future. He's going to take a jump shot off the back of the rim, and it's going to turn it back over to Gabon. And Egypt looked like they were vulnerable, but they were able to get back on defense. And Obam hits the open jump shot, one of the few open jumpers that Gabon has been able to release, and that leads to a timeout from Egypt. So
he's getting the scoreboard moving a little now, Gabon.
So Omar Arabi would be known stateside, wouldn't he?
Yeah, played, just having a quick look.
So Omar Arabi of Egypt has come in and been a dunk master today. Quite a big center, and he's known across the Atlantic, isn't he?
Soon to turn 24. Spent 4 years in college in the US. Played at Rice first of all, then transferred, went to USC, University of Southern California. His numbers there, 8 points a game, and he played more than 20 minutes. So he has great pedigree in this front line from Egypt. I mean, we kind of talked about the depth. The player they haven't even brought with them here is Anas Mahmoud, you know, another big guy, 6'9", currently at the University of Louisville in the United States as well. You know, one of the younger prospects in 2013. So, you know, it's very, very positive for the future for Egypt.
Also, he'll get a chance to play for Rick Pitino, who's coaching the national team this summer in Puerto Rico. Maybe in the FIBA Americas Championship. Right now, it's all about the opening day of the AfroBasket, and Amir Gindi couldn't catch that pass after he got into the lane. Now, Obam drives in and Arabi sent it right back where it came from. And quickly, Gindi uses a little hesitation and puts it up and in. So a good reaction from Egypt. Now a bomb. Like the Sono in, and he loses it, and that triggers the fast break for Egypt. And good hustle back from Shusha. And they really do get into transition quickly, don't they, the Egyptians?
Shusha, he's an energizer. He's not usually a great scorer, but very good defender. Like you said, gets out in transition, as does Mariah as well.
Foul called beforehand on Egypt as the ball was swatted out of bounds. Another point on Larabi, though, you mentioned he went to Rice, and that was also where Arslan Kazemi of Iran played. He transferred out and finished his collegiate career at Oregon. So both those guys leaving the Owls. Larabi is trying to make his mark now and trying to get to the Olympics. That would be quite a feather in his cap. And remember that Egypt made it to the final a couple years ago. That's firmly in his thoughts and the thoughts of his teammates. And the penetration, the drive, and Larabi with the rebound. Abdallah has the pass knocked away by Stefan Lasma, and he gets it and gives it back to Stefan Lasma. That's unselfish play there. Nice play by Gabon. Taufik over to Shusha. And Gindi hits the three-pointer.
He shot it so well, Egypt as well. They have their inside presence. 8 threes now they've made on the game. 21.
Long one, no good. Air ball into the hands of Taufik. His pass quickly to Shusha, and Arabi puts it up and tumbles in almost to the advertising hoarding, which had insurance written on it at the time, by the way. Watch this. Anyway, another 2 points, 71-28 in favor of Egypt. Now the ball back to Gindi. Quickly to Shusha. Talk about quick transition, and this time unsuccessful.
He needs to speed the game up to try and get the score back, but if they take quick shots as they're doing, Egypt are just going to run it right back at them.
Gindi lost it, was able to bat it into the hands of Shusha.
37 to 13 points in favor of Egypt.
Taufik puts up a high arcing jump shot, and a foul called on Arabi, boxing out. There's another look at Lasmus. It wasn't a dunk, it was just kind of a lay-in. Good control with the ball. It's interesting, though, again, going back to 2 years ago, so you've got Asim Marai with 2 years of experience, albeit he didn't play last year. You got some other youngsters that didn't play last year. So really, you know, with Egypt, if you watch them play at the World Cup, you might have thought, well, these guys aren't that good. But remember who they played, remember who wasn't there, and now realize that a lot of the guys that are standing out are newcomers kind of in this framework.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a really good job of bedding those younger players. Also, if you look at who is the future now, El Gamal still gives them that three-point threat, that guard presence, but you know, the core young group really, with the guard spot of Amin, he's really lacking in experience at the senior level. Shusha started to get it, but still doesn't have a great deal. And then also, we're out Mariah, who's arguably their best player.
Rami Abdallah drives in, passes back outside to El Gamel. And El Gamel puts up an air ball. He had his range early on, but the way it's going now, he can't seem to buy a basket.
Looks like version 2013 right now.
I think it's a confidence factor, maybe. Nice pass inside to Osono and he gets an M1. And the foul is on Ahab Amin. It's interesting as well with Egypt. You know, some of the moves that happened, they actually had appointed a Spaniard, Pep Claros, to be the coach, and then there was, I think, you know, some disagreement within the federation, and ended up bringing him Arise as the head coach. So there's a lot of uncertainty just in this program. Never mind, you know, it's interesting that he's been able to come out though and put what looks to be a very competitive team together, a team that can challenge for a spot on the podium. Nice drive inside. Oh, what a pass inside from Ahab. Ahab Amin could have taken the shot, but that's a character of their play, isn't it? A characteristic is they share the ball. And now playing defense. And good bank shot that time from number 15, Lionel Favre.
Action for him.
Well, Obama loses it, but the ball's hit out of bounds. Well, the long shot from Amin off the front of the rim, back to Osono Mbe, and another foul called, this time on Rami Abdallah. You know, talking about the youth, I'm sure you touched, I can't remember if you touched on this, but with Ahab Amin back in 2012 at the Under-17 World Championship for men.
No, I didn't talk about the World Championships, just the African Championships. You know,
So
he's MVP of both 16s and 18s.
So he had a great tournament then. Egypt finished 12th, but he averaged almost 16 points and 5 rebounds a game. And it's kind of like looking into the window of the future for a lot of these national team programs.
I mean, you talk about the lack of experience of the Egyptians or the fact that they didn't do well at the World Cup, but, you know, Amin wasn't on the team then. This is his first senior experience. They didn't have Marai. He was injured. Arabi didn't play either, and even Khalifa didn't play. So of the huge front line and the presence that they have, Egypt, you know, 3 of their better front line players straight away weren't playing. And then Amin with the ball now, who's been a revelation here, he wasn't on the floor either.
Wow, nice jump shot. Well, the stroke is back now for El Gamal. Must have heard us talking about him.
Penetration, that was beautiful. Guard play. Turned down the screen because he had the lane. Help came. Perfect timing to hit El Gamel in rhythm.
Long jumper no good, and the rebound. And quickly up to Amin. This time he sets his feet and drills the 3. And folks, the words real deal come to mind when looking at Ahab Amin.
Well, he's not known as a three-point threat, but he was very comfortable indeed on that one, didn't he? Set the feet, knocked it down. He's in double figures now.
Osono M puts up a 3, and it's no good. And final 15 seconds here of the 3rd quarter. Egypt on a roll. Remember, all the teams will advance from the opening group, so all is not lost for Gabon. But anyway, Amin, another long 3, and this time he was short. But I'm sure he'll catch some high fives and low fives when he comes back over to the bench here. And certainly has raised some eyebrows here in Tunisia at the start of the AfroBasket.
Been a luxury for Egypt, just scanning through the minutes. They've been able to get great production out of a lot of players. You see the percentage there. But 11 players scored for Egypt. Nobody's played more than 15 minutes either. Oh, sorry, Mariah's played 16.
You got to love the rebounding though for the coach, and you see 41 rebounds. That has to be, he has to probably look at the turnovers and the rebounds to be the first thing that he looks at the score sheet after every game.
As a team, every player has played. Every player has a rebound. 11 have scored. As we said, no one's played more than 16 minutes, so it's the first game. You couldn't really ask for too much more from Egypt. They've shot the ball pretty well from the outside, 10 of 26 for 3. So everything working for them. They've just got to ensure really they keep it going through the fourth quarter. It's easy to take the foot off the pedal and kind of lose the momentum that you've achieved up until this point. So you want to go out of the game remembering how well you've played.
Fourth quarter action now underway here. And it's that man Amin again getting after it. And beautiful play from Amin, really just helping Egypt just blow this thing wide open even more so. In fact, he's already blown open at halftime. Another pass into the corner over to his teammate. And Al-Maraji not able to knock it down, but another long offensive rebound goes for this Egyptian team. Ahmed in the game with the 4 fouls. Good hands that time from Gabon's number 10, Corbin Goye. 3 seconds on the shot clock for Egypt. El-Maraji will inbound it. Ahmed El-Maraji. Khalifa just turns, shoots, and drills the three-pointer.
Everything working. He's got 7 now. Sticking the tongue out on the way back. They're going to go into the zone as well.
A rare mistake there for Egypt, turning the ball over. Excuse me, for Gabon in the backcourt. Goes back over to Egypt. Ahmed inside. And Obama. Amin comes up. Almost gets another steal. So who's the pick of the guards for you? Who do you like the most for Egypt? Even El Gamal starts, but I kind of wonder if he's going to be on the floor in crunch time with some of these youngsters.
I think El Gamal will be out there with Amin and then alongside Shusha as well. Shusha's the kind of the defensive presence, the energizer. He'll take the player, best scorer from the other team. El Gamal gives the three-point threat. That's where I think Amin is just something different for them. He's that penetrator, can break down a defense and make something happen, and again, plays with great energy as well. I think as the tournament goes on, he's the guy that's going to kind of come more and more into the forefront.
Well, Bundy, the long 3, no good. Bundy rather, and now back over to Khalifa. There's his ball handling, gets into the lane. Ahmed has it knocked away by Obama. Obama puts up a J. It's good. He's had that mid-range game today. Obama. To 37.
This Egyptian team is very young indeed. Look at them, and with all due respect, some of them got some old faces, but the line up on the floor at the moment. Ahmed, who got the start, just 23. We talked about already, Shusha's only young, Amin's only young, and also man with the ball there, number 30. Omargi's only 22. Even Al Gamel, only 27 himself. He's still got a lot of years left in the tank. This is an Egyptian team which could stay together for a long time.
Kobangoye Ikinda off target, and another fast break is triggered and completed by Egypt. Well, it's going to be a tough old haul here as you look at the replay of that steal and fast break. We were talking to Adel Talatli, the coach of Tunisia beforehand, and he was talking about how it's a different ballgame when you're the host nation. He said his guys, there's a lot of pressure on Tunisia to deliver here. And you can see with Egypt, traveling from North Africa over here to this tournament, they've come out with a point to prove, haven't they?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I looked at 4 teams coming in, perhaps contenders for a medal, but you've got to say, Egypt, I know it's only Gabon, perhaps, that they're playing, but they've been very impressive indeed. Are they a 5th team that could be up there, making a claim for a podium finish?
Well, into the corner, El Maraji, and even there, look at the hustle from El Gamal. And the dive and another attempt. Really, I mean, that's, for me, more than anything else, it just looks like Egypt are just hustling every second of the game.
And that starts from the coach, from me. Mariah is so intense from the moment they've started. He's actually smiling on the sideline now. I haven't seen that all game. But he's been so fired up, so intense, and that's, it's translated into the players and the way they've played when they've been on the floor. They are focused, they are intense. Everybody that stepped on the floor has kind of done their role of what they've been asked. So, credit to Coach Mariah, I think.
And you can see why his son developed into the player that he has, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. It was interesting, we were reading, in the research coming in, said he had initially liked football, but then, he started to love basketball. He had a little comment in there. My father pushed me towards it as well. I mean,
you can see that happening.
The expression that he gives, you wouldn't say no to him either. So, but Coach Mariah has given us an awesome player in Aslan.
A lot of potential in this Egypt team. Seeing them in all their glory today. And traveling has been called on Gabon. And again, Amin was right there making a best of himself. As Amin brings it up the floor. Back outside, El Gamel. That's the pass up ahead to Obam. Oh, and a little bit of showtime. Obam gets it over to his teammate, number 11, Mapaga. And Marvin Joy Mapaga flushes one. Quickly, Egypt put up a 3. Khalifa challenged Lasma. And you would have thought Lasma must have thought that's my ball. And again, they just simply do not give up on anything, Egypt. This has to be the highlight of the game for this Gabon team. Look at that. Alley-oop. And Mapaga was up over the rim. Shusha's going to come back in for Egypt at the next dead ball. El Gamel passes into the hands of Marvin Joy, and Marvin Joy gets some joy. Marvin Joy Mapaga with a 3-point play opportunity.
Pushing for some more minutes, isn't he? Hasn't played a lot, kind of a reserve, only 8 minutes up to this point, but a couple of sparks. Maybe out in transition for a team that's struggling for offense, he can give them something different.
25 points is the advantage. Lasman follows the missed free throw, soars in and puts it up off the glass and in. That was a quality finish. 7 points for him.
He's going to have to do more, though, isn't he? He's not really a huge scorer in European basketball, but his team need him. 7.7 rebounds.
Ahmed drives, and Obama fouls him. Well, they've just put on a clinic today, Egypt. They've had a good preparation. And it's, it's a situation where, if there are question marks about what their state of mind would be coming into this summer after some of the turbulence, the coaching change and everything else, and after last year's World Cup, well, those have been dispelled immediately, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. A very impressive performance from them. And the challenge now is to kind of build on that. Obviously, in this group C we're in, they and Cameroon will be seen as the two favourites, that's for sure, out of the group. Cameroon, though, perhaps not as strong as 2013. Missing a couple of vital players. Mali, perhaps slightly better. May give them a contest, but Egypt really have got to be looking at top spot and secure that going into the knockout stage.
Well, Shusha, another three off the rim, and Ahmed gets the rebound. Khalifa hands it off. Oh, beautiful play from Egypt, just can't finish. Robbie coming back in. Here's another look. So Khalifa comes out of the game, as you see the end of that replay. Obama looks for some space. Egypt just not allowing any open looks. 4 on the shot clock. Into Lasma. Lasma, just with his sheer athleticism and talent, is able to score there at the end. He's got 9 points. Shusha, back over to Ahmed. Ahmed puts it up and in. Well, he's a good player, no question about it.
We haven't seen a lot of him because of the foul problems, but like you said, he's been efficient when he's there. 7 points, 4 rebounds. Just can't figure out the zone. The ball doesn't move quickly enough. Can't rely on the one-on-one against the zone because they can double up on the ball. Offensive rebound off the air ball just as the buzzer was about to sound.
Well, ball goes back over to Egypt now. Final 3 minutes of a agonizing opening encounter here for this Gabon team. And it's all systems go for the team in white. Ahmed brings it in, back outside. And yet another three-pointer for Gennady. Rami Gennady. Look at that. 3 of 4 from three-point range.
He's the only man over 27 years of age on this Egyptian team. And that is obviously why, because he is the three-point gunner. 23-year-old.
Shot no good, and Arabi gets the board. Gabon now. Ali Ahmed played at Cal State Bakersfield, showing a good game here for Egypt, as are all the players. Do you see any discernible weaknesses at this point? I know it's only one game for Egypt.
I would say the guards still.
You still think they're susceptible to?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the future, he's going to be a really good player. But right now, at the top level of this competition isn't quite there yet. We'll have to wait and see. You know, the creativity. Because at the moment, you know, their bigs are very good, but the guards don't create a lot of offense right now. And they rely on El Gamel as well, needing good games, I think.
That's why you're here. Need that analysis.
Front line, though, you know, the front line is up there with the best in this competition for me. You know, you look at teams like Nigeria, I think they've got a very impressive front line in terms of the personnel they have, but Egypt is matched up with them.
So what you're saying is you think that there's going to be a lot better backcourts that are going to cause problems for this Egypt squad.
Yeah, I think there's backcourts which would be better at this moment in time in Egypt. Yeah.
Interesting to see how it unfolds. Certainly an ideal start for them. Good anticipation from Ndong. Drives in and draws the foul. Or no, doesn't draw the foul, but the coach was asking for it. Gets the basket. 92-49. Will they get to 100? Al Maraji, well, that'll help him. That three-pointer takes it up to 95-49. They have knocked down some three-pointers today. Shot clock violation. I think that's the first shot clock violation we've had.
Yep.
Taufik coming back in for Egypt. And Gennadi's going to come out. So Gennadi, the elder statesman in this team, 33 years of age, takes the seat, probably for the, comes out of the game for the last time. Shusha goes behind his back, loses it carelessly, and turns it over. So it goes back over to Gabon. Three-pointer no good. Shusha with the board. And the reach and stops the progression. Taufik going to inbound it here in the final 30 seconds of the game. And Shusha with the rebound. Kaga in the game for Gabon. Not getting many minutes here. So 2 shots coming for Egypt. And you have to wonder if they're going to get to that 100-point plateau. I would guess not at this stage with 7.1 seconds. And especially the missed first free throw from Taufik. One last attempt here for Gabon. It's going to be kind of runner, and it's not going to be any good from the Sono M's. And Egypt really did the business today. They win it 96-49 over Gabon. And knowing that Gabon will have an opportunity to put this one behind them and come out and play again. Still alive in the tournament. It's opening day, and this is the opening game. Convincing triumph for Egypt. Well, really, I mean, the statistics do not lie in this case of this game. Not a single three-pointer falling for Gabon, but also the 53 rebounds for Egypt, the 26, just 26 for Gabon. Assists I mean, complete domination.
Absolutely. If you get doubled up on the glass and you go 0 of 18 for 3, there's not many games that you're going to win, especially against the Egyptian team, which itself offensively played well. They were efficient. They were very good running the floor. They played together. They played with intensity, and they'll come back in a couple of days' time with another game where you've got to say they are looking early group favourites in Group C, and the team that you won't want to play in the knockout stages.
Absolutely. So all the players getting in on the action today for Egypt and looking impressive. They may not have won a game last year with the FIBA Basketball World Cup, but it's you'd have to say in many cases it's a new team with a new attitude and coming out with a point to prove. Look out for Egypt, folks. It's been convincing. So stick around for more action coming your way today here from Tunisia. It's AfroBasket 2015. Thanks for watching, everybody.